If you're there and I'm here, then it must be time for the Phil Taylor Jones Show. Welcome. Well, I, like the rest of you, have been keeping an eye on this Ebola thing. And if you were one of the fortunate ones, or maybe unfortunate, if the case may fit, to view my last video, you could tell I was pretty steamed up about this thing, and I still am. But, you know, I've gotten a chance to kind of calm down just a skosh before presenting this video. Okay, folks, here we go. The United States government is sitting there twiddling their thumbs if they're not up their ass with this Ebola thing. And remember I said that it was going to be spreading? Well, you ain't seen nothing yet, because now we're up 3 victims. And this last person, I'm kind of looking at this person with jaded eyes, because here you go. She, number one, took care of this first guy that got it and subsequently died. Then she realized that one of her colleagues that worked very closely with her while taking care of this guy contracted the disease, and you know how she's doing, we don't know. I guess at last report she was doing somewhat better. And now she gets it. And what does she do? She jumps on a plane and she travels to Ohio, gets sick, feverish. And instead of doing the right thing and going to a hospital there, she jumps back on the plane to go back to Texas. Therefore, potentially infecting about 120 some odd folks on the plane, they said. My brother's been watching this too. Okay, how irresponsible is that? Oh, and now the CDC finally gets it in their wonderful little brains. Oh, well, maybe we better contact the other 123 and tell them of the potential danger that they may be in. Why didn't they do that with this first guy that came? They're tripping all over themselves, folks. They know about much about what they're doing as this TV remote does. Hopefully you can see that. You know, this thing doesn't know anything about Ebola, and neither do these governmental muckety-mucks, including that idiot over there in the White House, who supposedly postponed a trip somewhere to get more money for him and his stupid Democratic Party. And the Republicans are stupid too. For those of you who say, oh, well, you're just trying to hold it for the Republic. I'm not holding it for any of these jackasses, because they're all stupid idiots. But anyway, he supposedly postponed a trip somewhere over there on the East Coast so that he could talk about Ebola. Well, what's he going to talk about? How much of an idiot he is? Because he's not doing a damn thing to stop it. Okay, Zuckerberg and all these other people, they may be doing the philanthropic thing, you know, to dump bukus of money into it. But that's not going to be worth a tinker's damn if the disease is already here and spreading. And indeed it is. We don't know how far this thing is going to get. What needed to have been done is what I said before. At the first notification of outbreak, deny anything from Africa as a country, as a continent, not just West Africa or East Africa or North Africa or the part of Africa that's behind 2 lions, you know, standing over there by Kilimanjaro. All of Africa, including Madagascar, shut it down. No planes come in. Then implement your security system at every airport, not just the 5 that were stated, every airport. Just as we do right now with the anti-terrorist program, where the TSA pats you down and sends you through the x-ray machines and yada yada, checks all your luggage and your pockets and what have you. Do the same thing with this Ebola thing at every airport, to catch those that might be trying to be slick and, you know, wiggle their way in by way of some other airline that is not banned. Okay, you take a flight from Africa, you go over to England. Take a flight from Africa, you go to Japan. Then you come to the United States. That's where your security, your health security screening comes in to pick up that slack. But certainly stop everything coming from Africa, up to and including flies. I would accept anything in this country from Africa until this thing is put to rest. So that could be up to 2 years from now. I don't care. But they're greedy at money. They're greedy at prestige. I don't know what the hell he's thinking about. he's sitting there, oh, well, we're going to do something about Ebola. This guy is the worst president we've ever had in the history of presidents. And why we aren't doing the same thing that those Chinese students are doing over there in Hong Kong or wherever the hell they are marching is beyond me. This bastard needs to be impeached. Just as I alluded to in my other video, you've got a terrible disease. This thing is terrible. It's like I said before, it's not like getting the sniffles or a bellyache. This thing can rip your ass apart. You're bleeding internally, you're bleeding externally, you're burning up with fever, and it's highly contagious. And these idiots in that Texas hospital, these idiots in the CDC, they're sitting there talking about it's not communicable through airborne methods. Bull crap. When you get the thing out of its natural habitat, it's out of Africa. We have a different climate. We have a different whole ecosystem here in the United States from Africa. You don't know how this damn thing may mutate. So if it wasn't communicable by airborne means there, it very well could here, but you don't know. They're dealing with a lot of question marks. And guess what I heard on the almighty news today? The CDC and some of the other muckety mucks over there in Washington are telling the American people, don't panic. We have it under control. Don't panic. There's just a few outbreaks. It's okay. We're cool. We're on it. We're jamming. Don't panic. Don't be afraid. To that I say, bullshit. When you're dealing with people who don't know how to scratch their ass properly, I get awful scared. And these idiots knew that this thing was out there. And as I alluded to earlier, with this open door policy that this idiot, wants to keep going here, just accepting of everybody can come in, then it was just moments before this disease hit these shores. And it's here, and it's growing. Because this last incident, as I said before, this woman got on the plane, and those 124, are heaven knows where in this country, and heaven knows how many they possibly could be affecting because they were on the plane with her. You never know. And they need to get up off of this thing. There was a case the other day where a plane landed. The lady got airsick and she was puking all over the place. And they brought the plane down and they took her off the plane to test her. There again, folks, stupid. They're playing silly buggers with this stuff. If one person is on the plane puking, and they indeed said that the Ebola thing can be communicable by bodily fluids, which includes puke. Sorry to be crass, but okay. So if she puked all over everybody, they're going to take her off the plane, and they're not going to take the others off? The others are getting off the plane, it was a scary moment. She was puking all over the place, and we didn't know whether it was Ebola or not. Hey, if I was a news reporter, I wouldn't be standing there talking to that potentially Ebola-ized person. Is that a word even, Ebola-ized?
It is now.
Ebola-ized person spitting all over me. I could get it. There again, every person should have been taken off that plane and tested. And then retested and retested until the 21-day incubation period is over. They're not handling this thing properly. And I see my brother over there wants to jump in here. Yeah, well, what's going on, Chris?
Speaking of not handling stuff, a while back, the lady that was taking care of the person in Texas, they claimed that she supposedly didn't follow protocol, but just today on the news, they then took that back and said that she did follow all protocol and still contracted it. And then some reports are saying that you can get it just by touching someone. So if it's that contagious where you can touch someone, then it possibly is airborne. So they're going back and forth on if she followed protocol or not. So speaking of, doing things correctly, like you were just mentioning, they didn't even do that right.
Alicia's point taken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these people are in the I don't know stage at this time, and my point is, if you don't start the fire, you won't have to call the fire department. So this idiot president or some of the people in his cabinet or somebody, even his kids, somebody would have said, hey, maybe you should stop flights from coming here. that's going to be the number one way we can reduce. It's not going to eradicate it, but it will significantly reduce the possibility of it being all over the country. And then implementing that Ebola security system where you're screening passengers as they deplane, that's going to tighten it up even further. But I mean, here we are, we're 3 people deep now. 3 people, 1 dead. I don't know about the other one. And the other one, they're going to send her to the facility further on the East Coast where they had the other 2 people that actually contracted the disease over in Africa, and they brought them in on a private plane, I might add, and did everything right. Those 2 people are well and going around happy and smiling and going about their daily business. They're going to take this patient over there and deal with her. But we're 3 deep now because of a commercial airliner and people being able to cross onto our land with the disease, not only infecting the people or potentially affecting the people that they're on the plane with, but now healthcare workers are being affected. Even the first patient, Miss Pan, I think her name was, she's even concerned about her dog.
Mm-hmm.
So, the dogs are being infected. Anybody that comes in contact with this crap is being infected. And before you go dumping a lot of money over in Sierra Leone and Nigeria and in all those places over there, you need to be dumping education and money in this country since you're going to let your open door policy continue, Mr. President, Mr. Idiot. Then you better educate people here how to handle this shit, because it's here, pal, and it's all your damn fault because you didn't have common sense. He's supposed to be a Harvard graduate. Come on. You didn't have the common sense to say, that's it, no more flights coming in from Africa, nowhere. Okay? That would have been the first thing anybody with an ounce of brains would have done, is to stop the damn threat from coming over here. And then the government said, oh, don't worry about anything. We're going to protect you. Don't panic. You better believe I'm going to panic.
He doesn't care about us.
I'm going to panic like hell because you idiots couldn't pour shit out of a boot. And all you got to do is turn the damn thing upside down. So not only am I going to panic, but I'm going to be watching, and I'm certainly not going to be getting on any airplanes, but it doesn't matter because, as I alluded to earlier, all of those people that were on these planes with these sick people, we don't know where those people are. So your next door neighbor could potentially be a victim. And if you shook hands with them this morning or patted them or, put your arm around them and say, hey, pal, how's it going? You could have it too. You don't know. So all I can say is, we better be careful about what we're doing here. And they're already looking forward to 2016 and this who's going to be the president. They're talking about Hillary Clinton and then this one and that one. And I don't care which one they put in there. They're all dirtbags and they're all stupid. Like they used to say on on Martin's show, Martin Lawrence. Cole, you stupid. Well, government, you stupid. Because if you're going to allow sick people to come over and, you're so cocky. That's why we don't have the Twin Towers anymore, because these stupid idiot presidents and politicians are so cocky, oh, well, we got the best security system in the world. Can't nobody come in here and get us, and now we don't have the Twin Towers. A big chunk of the Pentagon was knocked out, had to be repaired. You're too damn cocky and you're too damn stupid. And those two are a bad combination. So somebody somewhere better get wise, get hip, get into the notion that we are not well protected. We need to tighten up things around here if we're going to keep our people safe. What you're doing over there in the foreign country, I couldn't give a tinker's damn about. But what happens over here on this little rock called the United States of America, which isn't united anymore, it's just a bunch of states kind of halfway stuck together. It's what it's all about. And now our people are getting sick. Our people are potential victims. Our people are potentially dying because of your stupidity. So I read a poll this morning where over It's 98% now, I believe. If this one poll that's saying stop flights from coming from South Africa. Why don't you listen to the people? You egotistical megalomaniac president, listen to the people that put your ass in office. Stop the damn flights coming from Africa and increase the Ebola screening to every airport. And don't give us that crap about you don't have any money. Where in the hell did you get $750 million to send to Africa for the Ebola thing? Oh, you pulled it out of the war effort. Well, pull some more out of somewhere else and extend this program to every major airport in the country, not just 5. Thank you for listening and being supporters of mine. I really enjoy your viewing the videos and your comments and you know, I don't know where we're going with this, folks, but it's not good, and I don't feel too good about it. You know, I think of my family. I wouldn't want to lose my family member. I love my brother. You know, he's my buddy. You know, he's my biggest fan and my greatest advocate, and I would be devastated if, you know, upon our travels or what have you, he would contact Ebola or some other dreaded disease that could have maybe been prevented and wasn't because of some dumbass politicians, some stupid ass presidents or something like that. It would devastate me. I'd die right, you know, along, and he feels the same. And I think of all you folks out there and your families and your loved ones. Keep them safe as you possibly can to the extent possible, and try to stay safe and happy. And we'll see you next time on the Phil Taylor Jones Show. Bye-bye.